excited to share with you our newest guest. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right. Well, thanks for having me. First of all, this I think will be fun. I'm Rachelle Chase. I'm an author, a journalist, and founder of a nonprofit. And I think that's it.
That's I
Yeah,
feel like
so cool.
that's pretty impressive.
So cool. Can't wait to hear more. So, are you ready for some rapid fire
Oh,
questions so we can get to
I'm
know you?
as ready as I'm going to be, I think.
Let's do it. Did you play any sports growing up? And if so, what was your biggest takeaway from the experience?
Oh my gosh. No, my parents always, their focus was on education and studying. So it's like I never really did any sports. I think the closest I came was volleyball, and then we moved, so I didn't get to become a member of the team. So no, no
Oh,
sports. Mm-mm.
Okay. Who is your business mentor?
Oh my goodness. That's funny because I actually could use a business mentor. But I think lately, and I think this is how I actually met Sarah, was with Launch Your Box because I've been struggling with, okay, what is my subscription going to be for my nonprofit? And so I think I finally came up with an idea. So I've kind of been binging on those as well. And of course, I've watched, your latest Big Brave Business that came out, Dr. Sherry, I think it was. Mm,
That's awesome.
yeah.
She's
We're big,
wonderful.
big fans of her.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is your favorite book of all time?
Oh my gosh. It's funny. There's the ones that come to mind. When I was young, it was like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's probably like way before your time. So I don't know if you like know what that book was, but I
Absolutely.
remember,
Assigned in school for generations.
really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I read it for fun. So I liked that. But I think more recently, there's a book by Alyssa Cole. It's called, oh my gosh, I think I have a sticky here somewhere. When No One Is Watching. And it's this
Mm.
thriller, but I love today there's like these books where they combine like the Black experience with like history. In this case, it's like
Mm.
gentrification. Then there's a little bit of race, and then there's like some interracial relationship stuff. And it's like this thriller. And I love how
Mm.
some authors are being like really creative and creating like this new, like kind of horror and thriller genre, that's kind of unique to
Yeah.
Black experience.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. What is your usual bedtime?
Oh my gosh. Well, when I'm on a deadline, and this is bad, it's kind of this revolving bedtime. Like it's like I am on a deadline, and if I've like procrastinated and it's like due the next day and I'm not done yet, then it's like I'll stay up, then I take a nap, then I get back up, then I take a nap, then I get back up, then I take a nap, and then the deadline hits and it's done, and then I kind of crash, and that's when I get to sleep. So I'm trying to get out of that habit, but because that is definitely not healthy, but that's kind of it has become a little bit more of the norm than I would like, let's say.
When
Yeah.
you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh, when I was a kid, it's funny. I wanted to be a doctor when I grew up, and I don't exactly know where that came from.
Mm.
And so I started down that path, went as was pre-med, and then discovered in college that's not what I want to do. And so I've done a bunch of other things. But flash forward to now where I'm an author. And when I first started writing and I had some, talent for this, I was surprised, like, who knew? Who knew I could be a writer, right? But then when I was looking back and I remembered as a kid, I used to always replay my favorite scenes over and over and literally
Ah,
over in my mind before going to bed. And I would say, no, no, not like that. Change that. Okay, no, no, not like that. No, no. And I would keep doing this over and over and over. And I thought about it and I'm like, well, then you know what? It isn't a surprise then that, you actually kind of came full circle and
yeah.
went back to writing. And I do remember loving to read when I was coming up and wanted to major in English. And my dad was like, no, you need to pick something a little more practical in English.
Jokes on your dad because you became a writer.
Exactly.
What is your why that drives you in your business?
Oh my goodness. You are asking tough ones. I think just about everything I do, my why is it has to be something I'm passionate about. I've kind of structured my life where I try to live my bucket list as I'm living, right? Live it out, as part of my life. So I don't have regrets when I die, which of course, we'll have regrets, but hopefully there won't be as many, right? So my why, like with my nonprofit, I believe very passionate in the mission. The stuff I write about as it relates to my journalism, it's stuff that I'm interested in, that I'm passionate about. It's not stuff that's assigned to me. With my author, of course, as the books I write, they're things I'm passionate about. So my why really is to do things that hopefully bring some benefit or joy to others, but also fill me with passion and interest.
I love that.
Yeah.
What are 3 things you're really good at?
3 things. I would say writing. I would say marketing. And I would say marketing, I don't do them because I never seem to have time for a lot of these great marketing ideas, but I love marketing and I have great ideas for other people what they should do. And the third one, I think really inspiring and motivating others to go after their dreams. Like my dad and mom both were very instrumental in my dad was very instrumental in making me believe that there was nothing that I could do if I worked hard enough. My mom was very instrumental in giving me this adventurous spirit. So I really do feel like you can be and do anything. Sure, you may not get there, but you can't go with that mindset of putting limitations on yourself. So it's really motivating people to go after whatever it is they want in life. I feel like that's a strength. People have told me
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Absolutely. Good. Good
That's
advice.
that's great.
Yeah.
What advice would you give yourself 5 years ago?
Oh, 5 years ago. I think because I'm getting older, all these bad habits, like that sleeping routine that I just told you about, I think I would tell myself, you can't really do everything. This whole like having 50 million things on your plate that you like doing, you need to slow down. You need to get rest. You need to take care of your body. You need to eat well. I think it's all of these things that I take for granted, like, oh, yeah, my body will always be there, or this will always. And as I'm getting older and as I'm experiencing, some health issues that go along with getting older, I'm starting to really focus more on that.
Yeah.
I need to hear that probably at 33 over here.
What is the most recent podcast you listened to?
I think it was the two. Launch Your Box and then Big Brave Business. I also listened to one.
No one's ever answered us before.
Well, initially, when you said, "Hey, you want to come on?" I thought, "Oh my gosh!" I said yes before I actually even went and listened, and then I'm like, "Oh my goodness, that's going to be tough." And then I got hooked, and then I was like, "Okay, so now I can watch all of them." And
thank you.
yeah, I think there's been a few I've missed. So I think I saw that Dr. Sherry was coming out today, so that's why I actually had watched that. There's also one on podcasting that I had listened to. I listened to yours, of course. I've listened to yours, Sarah, but there was one on Black podcasters, and I can't remember what that was.
Oh, cool.
I'll have to,
Okay.
it's awful that I can't remember the name of it. I'd love to give her a plug, but I can't remember it.
I'm the same way. I will watch a TV show. I want to recommend it on the show, and then I'm like, I just watched this. What was that?
Right.
What is your best marriage or relationship tip?
I think two. I think one is to not try to change people. You have to be with someone that accepts you for who you are, and you have to accept the other person, because so much drama and fights and things like that seem to be around. Oh, you don't do this, you don't. It's like, no, you got to accept people for who they are, or they're just not for you. And I think secondly is to his and her duplexes. I'm a strong believer of that one. I think living together also causes so many arguments. There's like someone's messy, someone's neat, someone wants the TV on all the time, someone doesn't. You don't do this, you don't whatever. Well, you know what? Duplex, connecting door that can be locked, and it's like, you know what? You don't like the way I keep my side? Go over to your side. You want to eat something else? You got a kitchen. You go eat it. So I'm thinking duplex. Mm-hmm.
That's a really good tip.
On the one hand, I don't hate that idea, and on the other hand, I've been working so many hours. I'm like, I would literally never see Eric. Like, what? This door is always locked. Okay, I know, because you do so many things. I want to know, what is one habit that keeps you productive?
Yeah, I think because also I'm not really good with like a routine, like every day doing the same thing, and I really envy people that can do that. It is what I try to do, and I'm not always successful, but on Sundays, I'm trying not to work 7 days a week. All the time on everything. So Sundays is taking time off to be creative and to, kind of like me time. But part of that also is planning for the week. And so I've come up with this great bullet journal page layout that works for me. And so when I take the time on Sunday to say, okay, here's all my to-dos, which of course I will never get them done, but I come up with these humongous to-do lists. And then I plan it out for each day, like this is the plan. It actually has hours where I can put in these tasks. And then it has the actual, so I can actually see, gee, you had 50 things, which you somehow thought you were going to be able to get those done. You accomplished 2 of them.
So relatable.
And in theory, I'm going to learn from this, but no, every week I do the same thing. But my point is that even though I don't get everything done on these humongous lists, it at least keeps me focused on the things that I'm going to work on this week. And it gives me that feeling of, oh my gosh, I got 10 of those things done. The bigger things that I probably wouldn't have gotten done because of, being scattered and whatever if I hadn't planned. And then I found an app that actually supplements that planned, and actually produces charts and whatever. So I'm kind of anal on this. I can like really get into this whole like organization and seeing and tracking how well I did or bad I did.
Interesting.
That's awesome. Well, for your very last question, in your opinion, what is the best kept secret to business success?
It's not a secret, but I think it's something that I have learned from as someone who gets passionate about these great ideas and wants to just do them, is jumping in and like, okay, just doing things like, oh, it'll come, all that other stuff will come because I feel so passionate. This is like the thing, and it's like, okay, no, Rachelle, planning, that whole like planning that you just went over with your bullet journaling kind of thing, having a plan, having goals, having steps of how you're going to get there, how you're going to measure success, whatever that means to you. I think having some level of planning, you hear it all the time, but I think people like me forget that very basic thing and just jump in and do things when, that is going to end up with wasted money, spinning your wheels, most likely getting burnt out, and a lesson to learn the hard way for me.
Yeah, the best intentions, but hard on the follow through.
Exactly.
I relate really hard to that. I feel like there's some personality type out there that we are the same. One of those personality tests. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to connect with Rachelle, her information is in the description of the video down below. Also, please make sure you give us a like, support Rachelle and support us, and subscribe for new videos every Wednesday.
Thank you.